but equally relevant, I think, in the Indian context particularly, because we use vendors to get our subscriptions through. I think we have had very nice, interesting papers. Of course, the two keynote papers are most thought-provoking. And I think, as I said, mind-boggling also because of the very nice things that we are hoping the future will throw up. I would like to offer the papers for discussion in the next 5 minutes. And I think, being the chairman, I will take the prerogative of asking the first question of Jens Wigen. I mean, this is a bit of a frivolous question. You know, when we read Da Vinci Code, we read a lot about sun. How far is that to valid from what Dan Brown has mentioned in Da Vinci Code? I mean, you can answer it in one sentence. That's fine. It's a frivolous one. Please.
The film team obviously came to CERN when they were going to produce the film, but I can assure you it is very, very different from how CERN is actually looking like, you know.
Thank you. I thought as much. Thank you very much. But it's, but they have really romanticized CERN. And I'd like to ask another simple, small question, if you don't mind. And that is, you know, high energy physics is obviously a very specialized field. And I think, as you mentioned in your paper, there's a lot of theoretical and experimental work involved in this. Would some of the findings and some of the models that you have put for publishing, would that be universally valid for publishing, electronic publishing in general, and the publishing of science articles, or I mean journals, in other similar kinds of fields, at least, if not identical fields?
Thank you very much for having asked that question. I mean, we believe that it could be transferred to neighboring fields, but in order to be sure, we made a proposal to the European Commission to make a real study, and it's an ongoing project called the SOAP, Study on Open Access Publishing, where we have publishers like Sage in the humanities, we have Biomed Central, which is then obviously publishing in biomedicine, and Springer together with us, and a few other research institutions from other fields, really to study which open access publishing model will be the best for any given field and what we can learn from each other, you know. So it's an ongoing study that should conclude in 1.5 years from now.
Yes, I would now request members from the audience to raise any questions that they might have. Yes, please, Dr. Rao. Yes, 1 minute. Dr. Rao.
This question is yourself. You talked about market share of articles. Market share of articles.
Can you repeat the question? I think people didn't hear it properly. You can come there. Oh, here.
I have two questions. One is to David Clark, where he has mentioned about market share of articles. Generally, the concept is, we generally say the publishing numbers. So when you say market share, I mean, we are not very sure what exactly do you mean by market share of articles. That is one question to you. And this is for Wigan. You said scope 3. You're going to have MOUs with different countries. Are you going to offer this to the universities around the world? And if so, do you want to charge for the service? This is my...
I have the easy answer. It's 25% of articles which are listed in ISI's Web of Science. That's where the figure comes from. Yeah. 1 in 4. And Jens has a more difficult question.
I am quite sure that your university is probably subscribing to some of those journals that is in our field already. So what we would like now, you know, is to make an exercise to see how much is India as a whole actually spending on the journals in question. And I have a strong belief that this will match the 2.7% that India is expected to contribute, and maybe there could even be some financial gain. So the challenge is probably to find one body in India who can centralize all the libraries, to make a computation, go through that exercise, and then centralize the funds to be sent to Scope 3. So, I mean, libraries should not pay anything more than they do today, and researchers should pay nothing, and publishers should be paid for their services. Because I follow your argument to a large extent, but I mean, clearly when you get large publishing figures, and you have to employ people really to organize the whole process, there are costs involved, and they have to be remunerated, Thank you.
My question is to Rajendran. In fact, you have shown so many slides, and there was a slide which was dealing about the uses of periodicals, users. And the good amount, I think 83-84% was a moderate high users. And the smallest percent was for the periodicals which were having high impact factor. How do you justify that high impact periodicals are the bad periodical category?
No, you are confused with the... Second. This slide, you are asking something about this slide. Second one, right? This one.
Not this one. There were three.
No. So this
Yeah, this is the one.
this is not my calculation. That's why I told you to visit journalprice.com. This data is based on that site. Whether this journal is good, bad, and medium. The data is based on journalprices.com website. That is a very big database. I have evaluated based on their data all the journals subscribed by my library. Accordingly, I have categorized these things. It is not my own calculation. If you want, you can visit that website and have more details.
Thank you. My question is to Dr. Subhash Deshmukh. As you have said, the 90 issues you were supposed to get about one journal, and you could not get 16 issues of something of that sort. The thing which we follow up is basically the reminders and reminders and reminders, and at times the money also comes back. And if we pursue a lot, then the photocopy of that particular issue comes back. How do you deal with this problem in your library? I have been facing this problem in my library.
See, I'll tell you, the serial control is a very complex issue. For the issues, what we have not received, we send the reminder. And the publishers, not the publisher, the vendors, they give very stereotype of answers. Now, I have a photocopy of the stereotype of answer, and it will say that we are doing the regular follow-up with the publisher. As soon as we receive the issue, at our end, we will be dispatched same to your mailing address. Now, question is, what exactly we should do with these vendors? Because we have to pay the advance that to sometime 100%, sometime 90%. And once our faculty does not see the issue of the journals on the stack, probably they come and complain to the authorities, some to librarian. What we have done is that we have signed an agreement with these all vendors. We have put some penalty clause also. And based on those penalty is been asked them to charge it. And at the initial stage also, only 70% of the payment is been made. 10% payment is been made when the online activation is started, and 20% is withhold. When all the issues of the journals are been received with the penalty, then only 20% is been released.
This is with the vendor you are doing?
Yes, I am doing it. I am a vendor.
Sorry friends, I think I have to put a close to the session. But you have a question? Okay, go ahead. Last question. Last test question.
To our friend from elsewhere, my question is, you have very standard price practice for the print journals. What is that standard price practice you follow for the online journals, and how do you charge? Because you are considered to be the doyen of the publishing industry. As you said, that 26% of the total publishing belongs to the elsewhere ads. What we feel is the online charges are varying from the institution to institution, country to country, region to region. I would like to have an answer.